¿Qué onda, vatos? Thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So let's just get into the topic of today's video. Maybe a different perspective, a different point of view, somewhere along the lines of Harley's doing pretty good. Alright, now you guys see my videos. I've been unhappy with some of the stuff they've been doing, like some of the consumers, but after reading the feedback on the Harley Davidson channel, on the YouTube channel, reading the feedback, and then also reading the feedback on the Facebook app, or on the Facebook social media Facebook, it's a different, it's just different feedback, you know, from my channel and on what they're putting out. So let's talk about the pros and the benefits, the stuff that you probably are not hearing from some of the channels.
6.5 hours later.
Anyways, I was mentioning something about Harley, I guess in a positive point of view with what Harley's been doing. You guys know, ever since Zeitz took over the Moco, they've, the motor company, he's been doing a lot of limited edition, a lot of serialized limited edition bikes, models. We have this new CEO, comes from the shoe industry, and that's pretty much the norm. You see Jordans being released. Like I said, I don't know, I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't know about the 1s, 2s, 3s, or the 7s, or whatever. But we do see them, you know, work with different designers, release limited exclusive shoes. Yeah, it's what they do over there. Is there anything special about these models other than them being, I guess, influenced by the history of Harley Davidson? Not really, all right? They don't have anything as far as, you know, better performance, better suspension, technology-wise. As far as what they've been doing, this is of course before the 2023 CVOs. No, all right, there's nothing really special about them, but it's a positive for the dealership. I mean, for the manufacturer, it's a positive in the sense of risk taking, in the sense of the current economy, as far as, you know, the rate hikes. A lot of things are, you know, working against a lot of businesses. You guys are seeing a lot of layoffs in the electric or the social, and the technology industry. You guys are seeing layoffs in Google, LinkedIn, Redfin. A lot of the technology jobs, you're seeing layoffs, and of course that's going to carry on to the other industries, as far as restaurants, employees not, you know, taking lunch, not having that extra income, not having that job security. So they're going to start to tying up in a lot of different industries. So we're going to see all of this kind of trickle down. So like I mentioned, is it the right time to take risk right now with this economy? No, right now is not the ideal time. This is one of the reasons why when Zeitz took over in 2020 or 2019, I can't remember, it's one of the major reasons why he shut down a lot of this. If you guys remember, 100 models for the next few years. Do you guys remember that? We had the Bronx, we had promises of other, you know, bikes. They cut out the FXDR, they cut out the lowrider, the standard. They cut out, you know, quite a few bikes. All right. So yes, the economy, it's not ideal for risk taking. It's not really the time for Harley to release something new. We just saw them release the FX LRST, which is, you know, it's a risk overall, and I believe it's paid off. It's one of the most sought out bikes out there. And on top of that, along the lines of ABS being discontinued, and a lot of the softail models, except for the FX LRST, we saw the shortages. We saw people in Canada are waiting weeks and weeks. I just saw a video about a fella waiting, I believe almost 2 months, 3 months for his lowrider S, and that's only because in some of those countries outside of the United States, it's a mandatory requirement for the bike to have ABS before you could register that bike in whatever country that has those strict requirements. So you guys have to keep in mind, shortages are affecting the supply, and of course the economy's not really quite there for Harley Davidson to take risks. Keep in mind, they got to stay in business. They got to keep people employed. So, you know, something as far as Harley taking more risk, as far as, you know, the technology and everything along those lines. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but they got to keep their employees employed. They, you know, they're trying to keep the business open, and with what they're doing, even though it is lazy business-wise, it's what the stockholders want them to do. And like I mentioned, along the lines of the feedback on Facebook, the feedback on the YouTube channel, the positive feedback, they're doing what they know. A lot of people, you guys remember when they released the live wire, which is something I did not like at all. I dislike the live wire. When they released the Revolution Max, when they released the Pan America, a lot of the consumers were unhappy because they want them to stick to what they know. That's the you know, that's the key detail when it comes to Harley's consumers. All right, right now, you know, I said my piece on the Revolution Max. I like what they did. I like the frame, I like the engine, I like the performance, I like the alternative that they have to offer, and more so because that frame, that engine is so modular with everything that they could do with that bike. I mean, same frame, same engine. You have the Pan America, you have the Nightster, you have the let me try to make it over here. They have the Sportster S, they have the Cafe, they have the what is it, the Cafe, they have the Bronx, you know, all of these different type of bikes, all on the same frame, all on the same engine, and it just lowers the risk because you could apply that engine to, you know, 3 other bikes. It's not like the EV, not like the Livewire. You can't apply that technology to any of the other bikes. All right, getting back on topic, like I said, you know, like I mentioned, right now, is it the ideal time for Harley to take risks? It's not, guys. All right, when the CEO took over, the pandemic happened. He even mentioned it in a couple of interviews. At the time he actually took over, I believe the Harley stock was somewhere along, I believe it was like $12. He took over, did a couple things. The stock shot up to, I believe, $60 to $7. I believe right now it's about $40. But I mean, it's not, you know, it's not anything his doing. I believe it's more of the economy because of, like I said earlier, the rate hikes. You guys go to your local dealer, you will see they have a base interest rate of 14.99% for just about anybody, which is absolutely mind-boggling for anybody to consider buying a bike with that interest rate. That is, I mean, if I were to get something along the lines 14%, I'd run. That's why I always say in my videos, you guys got to go to a credit union and see what they're offering. I just got a letter in the mail not too long ago, something about 5.6 or 6.5% for a vehicle loan, which is a lot better than I'm pretty sure what Harley's going to be offering.
6.5 hours later.
Anyways, getting back on topic, you can't really blame Harley. And I see it as a positive. I know I've said a lot of negative stuff. My only issue with these with these bikes, of course, is the limited amount of the bikes. Yes, I know that's what makes them special, but you could offer some of those paint, schemes, some of those paint options. You could just offer them as an additional paint option. That would be really, really nice. And like I've mentioned, for a lot of these, for a lot of these bikes, the surcharge isn't bad at all. The Lowrider S, I believe the Softails, I'm not too sure. Some of the other ones, I believe for the most part, most of them are $600. And if you're tired of just seeing black bikes, I love the look of black bikes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. Black never gets old. It looks good on everything. I'm a huge fan of it, vivid black. But I mean, for $600 surcharge, that's a pretty good deal. And like I mentioned, for these limited edition runs, I believe the Apex is probably one of those that's not a limited edition, compared to, of course, all the other ones, all the different collections are offering, the Icons, the Fast Johnny, the GI. Most of those are, what are they, $1,500, and some of the touring models are $2,900. And that's still a really great deal for those paint jobs, because like I mentioned before, if you have a bike and you want to get it painted a different color, it's going to cost you a lot more than $1,500. Or if you have a bagger, it's going to cost you a lot more than $2,900. I could guarantee that. All right, materials alone, you're looking at close to $1,000, depending on what color you're doing. For instance, let's just talk about the anniversary edition bikes. A beautiful, beautiful color: red, hurling red, pearl, cherry black, color, pinstriping, emblems. A lot of, for depending, of course, the $1,500 option for the Softails, an extremely good deal. And then, of course, we go into the baggers, the touring models, for the price, $2,900 for that color and that detail. You can't beat that deal. You can't. Really good option, but unfortunately, it's limited. Dealers know this, and because of the the limited badging or the labeling, just because of the serialized, the laser etched console, or the dash, whatever you want to call it, just because it has one of, what is it, 1,500, or one of, I believe for the most part, most of them are 1,500. The Icon, the new one, the Highway King at $750 each color, I believe. But you guys get the point. All right. Just because of the laser etched engraving on the console, on the dash, just because of that, dealers are incentivized, or, like I said, they know they're limited. They know there's 700-ish dealers in the United States. Some of them are closing, and there's dealers worldwide, and some of these dealers outside of the United States are not going to see these bikes. And like I mentioned, dealers know that they're limited, and they're going to add markups. They're going to add markups. I've seen it in my social media, on my Instagram. I've seen the messages on TikTok where some dealers are asking for $45,000 for a Street Glide special with the 120th anniversary edition color. It is what it is, guys. And unfortunately, a lot of the dealers are doing it. A lot of the dealers are doing the markups.
6.5 hours later.
All right, just rambling. Anyways, that's just a different perspective for you guys to kind of take and probably, see it in their point of view, and the manufacturer's point of view. It's a business. You got to make money. You got to play it safe sometimes, and especially right now with the rate hikes, with the economy, you just got to play it safe. And I mean, thousands and thousands of folks are actually depending on the manufacturer, on the Moco. So, you know, mentioning the Pan America, there's a Pan America right in front of me. So anyways, you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.